Hi, everybody. It's Heather, the expat entrepreneur. Thought I'd start by giving you a little show of one of my cats, Shelby, in her little window basket. They love those things. I'm telling you, if you're a cat owner and you don't have those, you got to get some because they love them. So welcome. This is really episode number 2 of the crypto series that I'm doing. And this one is going to be all about ways to invest in crypto. In the last video I did, which was the first one, it just talked about what is crypto and what is blockchain, and trying to give us everybody a better idea of how it fits into today's world, and what the trajectory is likely to be for it going forward. So if you haven't already seen that and you're not really too sure about what crypto is or what it's about, go back and watch that one first. You can speed it up if you want to. But on this one, the whole point of this series that I'm doing for you is I have recently embarked on a brand new journey for myself where I am investing in crypto for the very first time ever. And this is after several years of keeping my head in the sand and completely ignoring crypto altogether because I didn't know anything about it. I thought that I'd missed the boat when it was up high over 5,000 a coin, and look where it is now. It's like 42 and change for Bitcoin, and that's after a drop, by the way, too. But anyway, for a bunch of reasons, I just decided not to pay any attention to it back then. And through a series of interesting and unusual circumstances, a couple of months back, it came onto my radar. And because if you follow me or you've seen any of my work, you know that what I am all about is online business, ways to make money online, legitimate ways. My business is called Legit eBiz. And what I do is find and source and unpack the top thriving business opportunities that exist online today. And the whole point of it was because of me going down the wrong path with Amazon private label for a number of years. For 6 long years, I was in that business. And when I finally got out of it and into my right fit, I realized, boy, oh boy, if I'd have only not lost all that time and money in that particular business model, if I was on my right path in the first place, how much better it would have been. And that's why I ended up creating the programs that I've done, which are meant and created to help women find the right fit business in the first place, so that you can get on the right path right now and not waste all that time and money. Because I don't know about you, but I do not have money to burn and time to waste. I need to be on my right path right now, doing what's right, filling me up with joy and making me money. And that's the whole point of everything that I do. So when this crypto investing idea came across my radar a couple of months back, because of the groups and the circles that I travel in with online business and e-commerce, I thought, okay, I'm going to have to take a closer look and really start checking this out and see if is it really legit? Is it really as good as everybody thinks and says that it is? And once I did that deep dive, I decided, okay, I'm going to give this a go. And the best thing that I can do for anybody who follows me or stumbles upon this information, the best thing I can do is to document my journey and to show you how I go from start to finish. And so this is episode number 2 in this series. And in this one, I'm going to talk about ways to invest in crypto, because there are a couple of different ways you can do this. And the first thing I want to do is just say that I am not a professional investment advisor. I do not have accreditations and licensing to be giving investment advice. I'm not a financial planner. I'm not a tax accountant or lawyer. And everything that I say here is for entertainment and educational purposes only. It's not meant to be construed as investment advice for anybody. So we all have to do our own research and make sure that we are making decisions that are right for us. And we also have to seek out the advice of licensed, proper, certified professionals in our jurisdictions so that we can be properly advised on what the ramifications are for going down particular paths, like crypto, for example. What does it mean to you tax-wise? Go find a tax accountant and talk to them about it. Because if you're making money and you're making profit, which is the whole hope and the whole point, you will have tax to pay. This is not a tax avoidance thing or anything like that, or some kind of a scheme to get around what you rightfully have to pay and what you rightfully owe. But the best thing is if you've got tax to pay, it means you've made more money, right? So it's a good thing. We shouldn't be spending so much time, I think, wasting time looking and trying to find ways to skirt around and to avoid it. Just pay it. Make more money and pay more. That's my theory, my plans. So please go forward with all this information, knowing what I've just said there. So on that front, let's just dive into a couple of the ways that you can actually make money investing in crypto, because there's a lot of different ways to do this. And I'll just start by reminding you of the similarity between taking the investment of crypto and considering it to be a similar thing to, say, taking the investment of options. Even though these are two completely separate markets, I'm going to make some comparisons. And the biggest difference between these markets is the fact that with options, this is a centralized market. It's regulated, it's governed, right? And there are restrictions in place, and many of the best products that are available in financial instruments are actually not made available to the masses, because most people don't qualify to be what they call an accredited investor. And that is because of either your financial knowledge or your liquidity and your net worth, or it's a combination of both. And what's great about the crypto market and blockchain is that it is decentralized, which means that it's not owned or controlled or manipulated by anybody. It's the market is truly deciding and truly placing value that the market sees on anything. So it can't be fudged, which is great. And so what's also great about it is that it's available to anybody. It's not hoarded by the elite few who found a way to put fees on a particular investment and keep it for all the wealthy people only, and not let it be an option for the masses, which is what we see in our regulated financial markets all the time. I think your head would be blown, your mind would be blown if you knew how many investments are actually out there that are completely unattainable for the majority of people. But anyway, with the investing in crypto, there are a lot of ways you could do it, actually. And some of them are similar to what you might know about how to invest in something like options, or even in some cases, stocks. So the first way is really to buy and hold. You would open up an account, or you would open up an exchange account that is a crypto exchange account. You would pick a coin you like. You would buy a part of it, most likely, maybe not the whole thing, and you would hold on to that, and you would hope that you bought low, or maybe you think you planned it. Maybe you found, a little valley that you think is the right moment, and you're going to ride it up, and you're going to hope to buy low and sell high. And this is the most common way for pretty much anybody, or most people, to invest in the markets, whether we're talking crypto, stocks, or options. And it's also probably the least profitable way, because let's face it, how often are we lucky enough to time the bottom and time the top, or even get somewhere in the vicinity of the two? Most of the time, we've got emotional about it. It started going the other way, and we're thinking, oh no, we just got to wait for it to get back. And we're hoping and we're willing it, right, to get back up. And you're going to hold on to this. I mean, how many times have you heard somebody say, or ride it to the bottom? Because you just get so emotionally invested in something, and you also maybe don't want to be wrong. And that's a lot of times it clouds everything when we don't have strict parameters and rules in place. So timing the market is it's pure speculation. There is no investing and savviness behind it whatsoever. It really is gambling, and it's hope, and hope is not a strategy. So I don't advise that. I don't advise anything, but I think that what I mean to say is that trying to time the market and trying to buy low or sell high, or even doing it in reverse and buying first high and selling low later, because you can do that with options. You're hoping that you've got it right, and the chances of that actually happening are remote. So this is definitely not one of the better ways to invest. If you've got some pocket change that you want to, you would throw on the crap tables or something, if you happen to be in Vegas and you want to do this instead, then go for it. But I wouldn't be betting your financial future on it, put it that way. And nobody, I dare say nobody would recommend that you do. So there's that one. The second one is something that's called DeFi, and that's where you basically would again, open your account, pick a coin, put it in a holding, and you end up transferring it to a wallet within the exchange that will allow you to earn interest on that coin as long as you leave it in there. So it's kind of like not a bank account, but maybe kind of like a GIC, or kind of like, one of our traditional investment products where you put a lump sum in and then you get an investment out, predetermined investment out, except that the returns here are like way higher than certainly what we're seeing in traditional banks right now today, that's for sure. But that's something that is it's an option, but there's a better way to go potentially, and I'll get to that in a second. Another way that you could potentially invest in it is by putting the money in the crypto, picking your coin, having that coin with the exchange, and then there is a way that you can actually even loan your money out if you wanted to. You could actually become a loan, you could become a creditor, where you would actually lend money to somebody who is looking to borrow money, because that's happening all the time in the market too. So, I mean, those are a few of the ways, but the way that I found and that I'm doing, that I'm going to explain to you in this video and in the ones that are going to follow as I continue to show you my results, is basically trading. Trading on the volatility of crypto, of the market. And to explain this better, I just want to share my screen and show you what that volatility looks like. So just bear with me for a second here. Okay, so let me just show you what I put together here for you so that you can see, and to give you an idea of the volatility of crypto. This is the stock to flow chart, which shows you basically from inception of crypto way back in, it was 2009, I think, actually, all the way to today. And today it's at in the neighborhood of 40. Well, let me actually find that out exactly, because which I should have had on here before I saved this. 1 minute. Yeah, today it's at 45,600 and change. And it was recently as high, you can see right here where my mouse is at 60. And then it took a plunge down to about 29, and now it's working its way back up. This line here shows us what it's projected to go to in the coming months and years. And it's astonishing. Right, this line here is the 100,000 mark. So, and there are projections that are saying that that could even happen this year, as a matter of fact. So that's only a matter of months, isn't it? And here we are with the time right down here. But the projection is that it's all going to continue to go up. But what I really wanted to show you here is the volatility, because the crypto market is extremely volatile. And that is the whole point of this particular way that I have found that I'm going to do my trading on. Because what we're doing is trading on the volatility of the market instead of trying to time it, instead of trying to predict when it's going to be high and when it's going to be low, as it looks so easy, right, in hindsight, when you look back at a chart like this. But right now, we don't know. This is obviously a clear level of support. It might get that high and then go back down again, or it might continue to surge upward. We don't know. And so in my opinion, the safest way to invest in crypto is using this method, where all you're banking on is that it's going to move, is that it's going to continue to go up and down and sideways the whole time. So that's why I think it's so exciting. And I'll just show you that what I did was I opened an account, a demo account, for the purpose of this training, to show you guys the video or what I'm doing. And this is on a software platform called Btisgap. And all it is a software interface. There's no money being held here, even if it wasn't a demo account, even if I was doing with real money, which I will in time, and I'll show you as well. But it's just an interface. It's just a software platform that lets you program what you want to do. And so it'll eventually talk to your exchange where you do have your money, and that you can actually, it will execute the trades that you want. So in this case, I just wanted to make a timestamp here and show that for whatever reason, the demo account starts out at $604,000, which is not what I wanted it to. I wanted it to show about 15 grand. But anyway, this is the starting point of it. And that was just a few days ago, in fact. And this is the actual status of the account today. And I want to unpack this for you and show you, because it's so amazing. right here in this column here, this shows you how long one of these trading patterns has been on, and these are called bots, by the way. And in this count that I've got going right now, I can have 5 bots going at one time. So these are the ones that I've picked for various reasons that I'll get into later on in the training. But the important thing is to show, most of them I just did yesterday, like 24 hours ago. This one's been on for 1 day and 1 hour, 1 day, 1 hour, 2 days and 18 hours. And this last one is 3 days and 17 hours. And with these 5 trades, these 5 bots that I've got going, I've made $109 in mostly a day, which is amazing because that's not over a month or over a year. That'll be compounded. If I could continue to do that every day, if I can make $100 every day for a month, who'd be happy with that, right? It won't be the same every day. Sometimes it'll be higher, sometimes it'll be lower. But the important thing to notice here is that you see all of the percentage change in this category, they're all red, meaning as soon as I bought the bot, as soon as I bought that pattern, that sequence, it went down. Which is exactly why it's so hard to time the market, right? And even though it went down, I still made money. And that's the important thing, because it doesn't matter if this is going up or down, if this is red or green. What matters is that the system that I have already put in place, that I set and forget and walked away, is doing what it's supposed to be doing, what it's been programmed to do, and it's making me money, regardless of whether this particular crypto coin is going up or whether it's going down. As long as it's moving, I'm in the money. So, and just to show you what this looks like on a bigger scale, this is the chart. And you can see that this is right here where I bought in, where the candles turned into these little circles. And every time there's a red circle, that means that I made money. That means that the bot sold and put money in my account. And just to explain a little bit more about how this works, what you're doing when you're trading in this system is you are automating bots to do the day trading for you so that you don't have to sit here and do it yourself. The parameters are already in place so that if this happens, do that. If this happens, do that. Sell here, buy there. And what it's going to do is end up, sometimes it'll buy and sell in your bot, in your trade, 100 or 200 times in a day. Like, it could happen. And if that's the case, that's great, because you're almost certainly making money in that scenario, because that's what it's all based on, up and down and up and down. And so the bot is told to go out, and as soon as the price goes up to this, then sell. As soon as it goes down to that, then buy. And then it goes up to here and then sell, and goes down to that and buy. And then you can put other parameters in that tell it, if it goes up this much higher, then take the whole thing and put it up here, and then start buying and selling based on those numbers. If it sounds confusing, it really isn't. It's something that becomes really, really natural, and in a short period of time after you've done it a few times and figured it out. And I'm just going to stop sharing here now to get back to the full screen. But that's the idea in a nutshell of how it works. And it winds up being something that is just so effective and so profitable that you only have to be right 65% of the time to really be making good profit. And that's not that difficult to do. And the big thing is that I want to say is that you're not relying on your gut feeling and your emotions and how you feel about this particular coin going way down or way up, because we get emotionally charged when we're looking at investing in stocks and options and these bots too. And it's something I know a little bit about because I used to trade options. Back when I lived in the Middle East, there was 3 or 4 years there that I studied options extensively. And I went to a whole bunch of trade shows with these guys, this group that was putting together this program, or they had the program together already to teach us how to trade options. I learned all the elaborate strategies that they have in place for what to do and how to cover it here and what to do in this eventuality. And it was really fascinating. But the thing was, I was tied to my computer. I want to say 24/7, but that's obviously an exaggeration. I was tied to my computer as long as I could possibly stand to be there. And then I could have stayed longer, if you know what I'm saying, because there's always something more to do. There were always charts to analyze and patterns to look for and reports to delve into and factor in, and then you do your analysis and you put it all in spreadsheets and you do all this crazy stuff that you need to, but it's so time consuming. And that's the beauty of this system with this crypto, because you don't have to do any of that. These little bots are automated, so it's hands off. And in order for me to set that up, what I just showed you, I executed 4 of those trades on the same day. Okay, 3 on the same day and 2 a day or 2 before. All together to do that, I bet you I have, and I'm a total beginner, I bet you I have 10 or 15 minutes of time to do that. And it's making $100 a day as of right now. Let's see how it continues to go. But that's just to show you, when I've gone through the training program that I've taken, that particular program is, I started it in June, and they're running another one right now, as a matter of fact. And I'm taking the new one as it comes out. So I'm going to double up on my training. I'm going to do it a second time. But the first time that I went through it all, I would guess that it's probably about 15 hours is what it's going to take you to go through all the modules and learn the system. And from there, the actual setting up of your account and executing some of these trades is so minimal. And the thing is, now I literally have nothing to do. Like, the whole premise of this system and this way of trading is that you put this in place, you get these things running, and then you leave them alone. You really are hands off. You monitor them very seldomly, and there are also suggestions on what do you do when, what to do if this happens, and do that. And most of the time you're just told to just wait and wait it out. If it's making you money, then why change it, right? Because the beautiful thing about this type of a system is that you do it, you're actually making money 2 ways. And I mean, and to be able to do this in the safest way that you possibly can in this market. And just before I get into these 2 ways, I will say to you, you can lose all your money. It is the markets. It is not guaranteed. Just like if you were to invest in the stock market or in options or even in your bank. I mean, when the last financial crisis hit, how many banks, several hundred banks were ended, weren't they? And the people who had their money in those banks, unfortunately, they didn't get all their money back. Some of them got a little, but even when you have the FDIC guarantees, those are limited as well. And you remember from the first training that I gave, I talked a lot about inflation and fiat currency and the value of fiat currency, and the fact that even whatever money you're getting and whatever you have in there, it's constantly being devalued anyway, as opposed to this, which is a hedge against inflation. Crypto it is, because it's not tied to the same things that your fiat currency is. So it can't be manipulated, and it can't be artificially inflated into a quadrillion dollar Zimbabwean dollar, like we saw those number of years ago. And we're seeing it slowly pan out again and play out again with the Venezuelan Bolivia. I don't know how to say it. But anyway, that's you can re-listen to that one if you want to. But it's important to know that when you decide to invest in crypto, you should only start with a small amount of your portfolio. And I mean, most people recommend like 2 to 5%, which is like, or maybe it's even 2 to 3. It's a super tiny amount. I'm personally doing a little bit more than that because I have a little bit of knowledge already in the space that I feel gives me a little more comfort. It doesn't give me any advantage at all, I'll be honest with you, because none of that matters. The knowledge that you have at the end of going through the 15-hour program is the same as mine in this arena. And it just comes down to what level not of risk, but what level you want to get into, how much you want to go forward with. And anyway, yeah. So I've been transparent, and I've said my plan is to invest $15,000, which is why I wanted my training account at that level. When I'm finally have my exchange account, it is verified, but I have to now get the money in there. And it's difficult for me because I'm an expat, and because I'm a different nationality than the country that I'm a resident in, and there are issues. So I'm getting around that, or working it out, finding a way to make it happen. But soon enough, I will be in. And when I am, I will document that alongside of this demo trading account too, so that I can learn with you and and educate you and show you as well how it's going. But the two ways that you're earning money in this system, they're amazing, because you're not timing the market with trying to buy low and sell high. But when you do pick which coin you want to invest in, you are establishing a position with that coin. So you have the opportunity that if you did get in low and you did sell it higher down the road, you would capitalize on that gain, right? So that's one way, and that's the only way that most people are even so-called investing in any markets, whether it's crypto or options or stocks. So that's just one small potentiality. The second way is where I showed you that I made $100 overnight, right? And that is from the wiggle, the trading up and down, where my bots are pre-programmed to sell when it's high and to buy when it's low. And they do that automatically based on all these parameters that I put into place. And so that is like, I've got this chunk of change that I've put in there that I've bought the coin with. And then I've put that to work in the market, and now it's actually spitting out profits for me. So I've got both, you see. And what's beautiful about it is in this system, that $105 that I showed you that's profit in my account right now is already in my what's called a wallet or couch money. There's a couple of different terms for it, but it's already been extracted from that trade, from that investment, and put aside for me, and it's waiting for me. So I can do whatever I want with that. I can take it out and put it into the real world, turn it back into fiat currency and pay my mortgage or go for dinner or whatever, or I can keep it in there and let it rise up to another amount where I can actually buy another bot. Because with this system, and I'm going to get into a lot of this further down the road, I don't want to get into the actual like logistics of the training itself, but basically what you do is you need to have approximately $3,000 to invest per bot. And that's why I'm going with 15 grand, because I want 5 bots. And the reason for that is because the way this program is designed and has been structured, those are the parameters that work. To do less than that will mean that that particular trade is not going to get the same level of effect as it would at the $3,000 level. You can do more as well on one bot for sure, but that's your minimum. So letting the profits accumulate until you get another 3,000 so that you can maybe do another bot. Well, this is a great idea. And that's actually found money, right? That didn't come out of your pocket. It didn't come out of your bank account. So, and I'll just say that this program, by the way, I got involved. I bought it. I paid full price for it and I bought it in June. And it's also a program that I had the privilege of promoting as well because of an affiliate group that I'm a part of. And it's going to be available to buy into again in the near future. So if you're following this series and you think this sounds like something that might be interesting to you, stay tuned, because the opportunity for you to take the training yourself will come up again. And by the time we get to that point, you're going to see so much in terms of results from me and what I've done in my accounts that you can have a really good idea of exactly what you can expect, because you're going to watch it pretty much live with me as I go. So on that note, I'm going to sign off for today and try and keep these short and bite-sized little nuggets. As I say, always, you can speed up the video because I know I maybe tend to talk a little bit slow. Every time I rewatch something, I've got it at least at 1.5 speed. So maybe you're the same. But in any event, I will be tuning in again soon. I don't know when, probably within a week or maybe 2, depending on what happens with these results. And but just keep checking back. Check back on the blog and on the or the YouTube channel for updates, and I'll be there. So, and as always, reach out. My email is heather@legitebiz.com. And if you have not already liked this video and subscribed to this channel, please do so. It helps tremendously, me personally, but also you and people like you to rise this video up to in the rankings so that more people will see this information and realize that this is an option, because we don't have to continue to be at the mercy of these crappy investments or what other people are making available to us in the centralized market. There are many other options, and I'll just finish by saying, Of course, there are lots of scams out there too, in crypto. And the one, I guess, warning that I would sound for anybody is, if you're going to be getting into this market, whatever you do, please do not just hand your money over to somebody who has a good line and pitch and let them invest for you, because that very, very rarely works out, especially if it's just somebody you find on the internet who looks like they talk and walk a good game, and they're just looking to invest your capital for you. It very rarely works out well on any market, centralized or decentralized or whatever. I would strongly recommend that you take control yourself. And this, what's great about this is it's such a small chunk of time that will enable you to actually do it. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to love numbers and love math. You don't have to have 50 hours a month to devote to this. You need a small chunk of time up front, and then you need like maximum 1 hour a week. You're not going to give that up to somebody else to control for you. You can do it. So stick with me, stick with this channel, and I'll show you how I unfold it all. And yeah, I just want to let everybody know there are lots of great options out there for you that don't require you giving up the rights and the freedom of your hard-earned investment dollars to other people to do whatever they may or may not do with it. So anyway, thank you for your time today. Please do subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.